The more attention that we give something, the more that thing grows, and the bigger the vibration of that thing grows. So that goes for literally anything. The more you think about a topic, the more of that topic you're going to get. In this culture of people who have decided to stop drinking, sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes I notice there are groups of people that are specifically united because they have decided to stop drinking, and then that is what they do. That is what they talk about. That is who they hang out with. Their identity is, hey, I'm Lauren and I am, I don't drink. I only hang out with people that don't drink, and I only go to events where there's no alcohol, and I only hang out with people at those events who don't drink alcohol too, and that's the books I read and that's the things I do. In my opinion, that's so not the direction we want to go, because it's still giving the topic of alcohol so much power and so much charge, because that's where our attention is. Now, obviously, I make videos here about this life of not drinking, and I get that that's a large part of what I talk about, but I'm making this content because I wish I would have had it when I was considering not drinking, as a window into, what could be. I don't make this content because I'm constantly talking about life without alcohol outside of these videos. In fact, it's never, hardly ever. I also make content about space. Why? Because I think that space is amazing. It's like magic. It's so exciting. There's so much going on. I'm getting into the space industry. It's just such an amazing topic, really, in all elements. It's existential. It goes in line with energy, all that kind of stuff that fascinates me. I'm also going to make another video about cutting out coffee, which I did for about 3 months, you guys. It was a bitch, but I did it, and in 2 weeks I can actually drink coffee, so whoop, that's cool. And then there's gonna be more videos that I'm gonna talk about, but this channel isn't just to consistently and only talk about life without drinking alcohol, because that's not the point. For me, when I decided to stop drinking, then came into play, what are the things that I want to do instead of drinking? What are the topics that are fascinating to me? What are the things that make me happy? What are the things that bring me joy? What are the new hobbies that I can explore? What I'm saying is I started looking toward the things that I wanted and actually moving in that direction and letting go of this topic of alcohol. And not even bringing that into my world as much anymore. And I'm not saying that's easy either. It was hard work in the beginning to figure out what those things were, because so many of my weekends had been filled up with partying and drinking that it was very difficult to relearn that kind of stuff. And it still is a process 3 years later, but I think it will always be a process, right? So for me, when I decided to stop drinking, I cut it cold turkey. I was 25 or 26 years old. I, had spent years and years and years not wanting to stop drinking. I didn't want to stop drinking when I did, but some family things happened that showed me that I had tendencies that would potentially get me in trouble down the line. And, it was also screwing my life up in a lot of ways. So I actually decided to cut it cold turkey. And I separated from pretty much the topic of alcohol completely. I ended up just forging a new path toward things I wanted, which was a better body, right? So I would go to the gym in space of, going out and drinking. I wanted to be more interesting as a person, so have more knowledge about things. So I started listening to more podcasts about different topics. I started reading more books. I really wanted to find a new hobby, so I started just exploring trail running, and I love trail running. I decided that I wanted to get better at art. So I started doing more things with art. I decided that I wanted to, learn how to create videos. So here I am creating videos and editing with a video editing software. So what I'm saying is I started looking toward the things that I wanted and actually moving in that direction and letting go of this topic of alcohol and not even bringing that into my world as much anymore. Now, I do think that there is a time and a place to talk about alcohol. Obviously, this channel is an outlet for that. Like I said, I wish I would have had this when I considered not drinking. If this is a place that helps people stay in line with that, 100%. That's the point. But also, once we get that fill through the content and the information, and maybe it's a lot in the beginning, maybe it's a lot in the first year, make a conscious effort to start to fill our lives with other things that have nothing to do with the topic. Because right now, alcohol takes a large portion of attention. It's a lot of charge. There's a lot of momentum behind alcohol. There's a lot of feelings behind alcohol. And so if we need to dismantle that a little bit and reprogram that by talking about not drinking and what that brings, absolutely do that. but also make a conscious effort to do other things that don't have anything to do with alcohol, because then alcohol will slowly like smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, and then it won't be there because there's no charge, there's no attention to it, which means there's no active vibration about it, and it's no longer a thing in our lives. I think that's an essential portion of what it takes to reprogram our brains, to actually break this program, to actually break this habit, which it is a habit, to break our, our bodily addiction. Simply stop drinking if that's what you want to do, create space from it, look at the reasons why you don't want to drink, look at what you want now, and then go toward what you want, and just, keep focusing on that, and ultimately just have fun. And it's going to be hard in the beginning if you are considering not drinking, and just know that, but it actually is so much better in the end. It's kind of like when you go to the gym and you're lifting weights and it's freaking hard, but give yourself a year and you come out and you're just like, whoa, I'm looking good, like damn. It's just like that. So if you're considering this lifestyle without drinking, go ahead and subscribe below. I talk about this stuff all the time. If you like this video, please like it so other people who might need to see it can see it with the algorithm. And if you have any comments or questions, as always, drop them down below, you guys, and I look forward to seeing them. Thank you. See ya.